Today we're going to be talking about the Genderbread Person. The Genderbread Person was created by the website itspronouncedmetrosexual.com in order to help people understand how complicated gender truly is. Gender can be divided into an identity, an attraction, a physical sex, and an expression. Speaking specifically first about gender identity. Gender identity is what you feel you are on the inside. For example, a person can feel they are a woman, or that they can feel that they are a man. They can also feel like they are a mixture of the two, which is why we have these two lines stretching outwards instead of being on a scale where you can go from woman to man. You can feel womanness and manness, and sometimes people can have different combinations of the two. For example, we have a little example down here called a genderqueer person who feels a level of femaleness and a level of manness. Gender identity does not necessarily match up to the physical sex. The biological sex is the sexual expressions of the body. These are what people usually think of when they're thinking of gender, is the difference between a masculine or male body and a female body. The reason these are also on two sliding scales is because sometimes people can be born with sex characteristics of both sexes. Sometimes people can be born without those sex characteristics. Sometimes people can be born with the chromosomes XX and have a male sexed body, and sometimes people can be born with the chromosomes XY and have a female sexed body. So your chromosomes don't always match your body, and your gender identity doesn't always match your biological sex. Regardless of what your gender identity is or your biological sex is gender expression. This is how you wear your clothes and express yourself and your gender identity. Someone can express themselves in a very masculine manner and consider themselves butch, or they can express their gender in a very feminine manner and be considered or call themselves a femme. You should always use the labels that someone applies to themselves. Trying to label someone else with a label that they don't accept can be very disrespectful. It's important to remember that gender expression, gender identity, biological sex, and attraction are all different from each other. They don't have to be connected. So, for example, someone who is who has a gender identity as a man and whose biological sex is male can still use a gender expression that is female. Someone whose biological sex is female and whose gender expression is female may still identify in their mind as a male. Finally, we reach the fourth part of the genderbread person, which is the attraction. Someone can be attracted to men, males and masculinity, or they can be attracted to women, females and femininity. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they cannot be attracted to both. Sometimes someone can be considered bisexual or pansexual and be attracted to both genders, or even more gender expressions than a simple binary like is being showed here. Or they can not be attracted to either gender and call themselves asexual. In any situation, it is always important to listen to people and what kinds of identities, expressions, sexes, and attractions they identify for themselves, and be respectful of those differences in people. Not everyone is the same, and this is okay.